Welcome back. Today we're going to make a lasagna al forno, that means a baked lasagna in the oven, on that is with carne de pollo, that means meat of chicken. For this, we are going to first do the chicken mince separately. So for that, the ingredients are salt, fresh rosemary chopped, chopped garlic, finely chopped onions, and roasted and crushed black pepper. So we begin by taking a pan, a casserole or a pan, and for that we will keep ready the chicken mince and the rosemary, which has been washed well, taken off the stem and chopped fine. In the pot we will add olive oil. Once the oil is about heated up, we put that on a medium flame, and then we add chopped garlic to it. Now the garlic is going to be sauteed till it just about starts to turn brown. We don't want it brown, and at that point we will add chopped onion. Now lasagna is basically spelled L-A-S-A-G-N-A. That's a singular form, and when you are putting multiple layers of sheets, it's L-A-S-A-G-N-E. So lasagna, both are pronounced as lasagna and lasagna. So we are going to add basically the herb, which is rosemary, which is what is the essential ingredient in lasagna. And I basically prefer the red meat lasagna, mostly lamb. Lamb and rosemary goes very well. But here in this case, we are going to make a chicken one. And because the process is similar, we are also going to just touch the way to make the vegetarian one. So I've given you the vegetarian ingredients in the ingredient list. You can add your own choice of vegetable, just slice them thin so that they cook easy. We've added the chopped onion to the garlic, and we saute that till it becomes translucent. Again, kept it on a medium heat so that they don't brown fast. Don't put it on high heat. Once this is more or less translucent, we are going to add the chicken mince. Chicken mince, basically I have removed in the mincer boneless chicken, thigh and breast mix. I have moved it through the mincer twice, once through the larger aperture and then the smaller one. So it's been minced well. It will not have chunks of pieces. I do want that. We're going to saute the chicken mince along with the garlic and onion for a while till it starts to separate and lets out all the moisture and becomes small. And then we'll add the fresh chopped rosemary. Now rosemary, we want to add about 5 to 6 sprigs. We'll just take them off the stem and then chop the leaves fine after washing. The fresh rosemary is what basically gives lasagna its flavor. We saute that well and we season it with salt and crushed black pepper. This basically I made a couple of days back for my son's birthday, which was on the 10th of June, and this is one of his favorite dish, and I require quite a bit of time to prepare the concasse beforehand, which I posted earlier, and also the bechamel or the white sauce, which also I have posted, and we're just going to bring that together because it's difficult to get it done all in a same day, and also it gives a little time for the concasse and the white sauce to settle and mature in flavor before we can add it to stack it up with the lasagna. So we break the chicken pieces up and make them into smaller granules, and you can see basically the garlic and the onion fried up with the chicken mince. You don't want the onions to be brown here because you see it forms a very subtle flavor, and the enhancing flavor should be rosemary. So we don't want the flavor of strong garlic or brown onion to come through. Chicken mince almost ready. Moisture dries up. We're just going to keep that aside and let it cool. Or you can also refrigerate and use it the next day if you're going to align your pasta the next day. Now we're going to make the lasagna lasagna sheets. Flour, we're going to start off with refined flour. You can always buy the ready-made ones, which is by Barilla or any other company, and use those, but I prefer making my fresh pasta lasagna. Here for the vegetarians, you can just omit the egg, just add the rest of the ingredients. That means flour to be sealed with salt and just lightly salted so that it does not overpower, because salt is going to go into the main dish as well. We strain that so that the salt is distributed evenly throughout the flour onto a granite workboard, and we're going to make one in the center and one surrounding it, like so. And in the surrounding the outer circumference, we're going to add about 4 tablespoons of olive oil. What the olive oil does is gives lasagna its rich flavor, as well as, and on the center well, we're going to add 1 egg. Now you want to make a pasta which is really well bodied, then you need to just use egg yolk, but in this case we're going to use the whole egg because we don't want a very tough pasta kind of come out, lasagna sheets. We bring that all together with the olive oil and egg. First we mix the egg in the center well, and then we incorporate the olive oil from the outside well, and we bring that slowly together, adding minimum moisture because you really want a hard dough. It becomes easy to handle, and the olive oil in the dough also ensures that the dough does not stick when you roll. I sort of like to roll out the sheets a little thickish, not very thin. Should not see through kind of thin, because it gives a little body to the lasagna when you cut it up. You just knead it well. Don't work the dough too much, it's not required. We're going to rest it, so just bring it all together, but you want a hard dough, so at the end of it we're just going to press and have a look how hard the dough is. The harder the dough, the better the pasta, and easier to boil and handle. Actually, that's the reason you require. So I made a kind of a semi-hard dough, so because olive oil is there, so it won't stick to the work surface. Once that is done, we're going to keep it aside and cover it with a damp cloth till you're ready to roll. Before you roll, you got to have a nice sized tray, and put drinking water in that and start to boil. Put that on the range. It should come to a boil before you start rolling, and we roll out the dough pretty thin. You should be able to thin out the dough, but at the same time you should not see through the work surface, not that thin. So here we're rolling it out. If you need to dust it with flour, you can do that, but I did not require much because the olive oil does not allow it to stick. You can have a look how thin the pasta is. Now you take the casserole dish in which you're going to arrange your lasagna. Measure that and cut out the trimmings from the side, so you'll have a exact size to fit at the bottom of the casserole. The first lining of flour or sheet. Take the excess dough out for the next sheet. So you're going to basically roll out 3 to 4 layers, and then for easier handling, we're just going to give it a cut across, so that they're easy to pick up and easy to handle, because large sheets are difficult to handle once they're boiled. And you have the boiling water. You can add a little salt if you want, but plain water will also do, because you already have salt in the dough. And we add both the sheets and blanch them. Bring that to a boil on one side and turn it to the other side, and let both sides cook well. And you can see they're already puffing up, so one side is already, they're thin sheets, so they cook very easily. Now here, if you want the pasta to be really authentic, then you can get durum wheat flour, in which the stretchability increases and does not break at all, and gives a different kind of flavor, Italian based flavor basically. We've turned it around and just keep sprinkling little water on it so that it's evenly cooked. Once that is done, use 2 spatulas to handle. They're easy. Take it off and put it on your work surface, and just cool it a bit, and roll out the next layer of pasta and start boiling it. So basically you require about 4 to 5 layers depending on the size and the amount of chicken mince you're using and number of people you're catering to. So we have put a bottom layer of the pasta which we blanched. On top of that, we have put a layer of the chicken mince. On top of that, we have put a layer of concasse, which we prepared beforehand. So in the recipe, I have given you how much of concasse you would require and how much of white sauce bechamel that you require. Here comes the white sauce. So concasse will be required more for about say 750 grams of concasse, the end product, and the sauce will be bechamel sauce. You'll require about 500 grams. So a layer of chicken mince, which we had sauteed along with onion, garlic, and rosemary, that goes in. Then the tomato concasse is the next layer, and the third layer basically is the bechamel or white sauce. Spread it well and spread it evenly. Though when you bake, they are also going to start spreading by melting. So they will take the space which you haven't been able to cover, so not to worry. And then the fourth layer basically is going to be processed cheese, or you can add mozzarella. I prefer processed cheese because it has gives a seasoning or saltiness of its own, whereas most of mozzarella are not seasoned. So we do this and we place the next layer. It does not matter, you can overlap the layers as well because the pasta layers, the lasagna layers are thin, pretty thin, so you'll get good body even if it overlaps. Once that is done, we're going to do again the same process. We're going to keep doing this till the casserole roll dish is full. Chicken mince going in, which we prepared earlier. And mind you, it needs to be cool because it's difficult to handle if it's hot and steaming. And also the lasagna sheets tend to stick to it if it's hot. Spread that evenly, just break up the lumps with your spoon, the back of your spoon. We're going to show you a full layer so that you know the process exactly. And the next layer to be tomato concasse. Concasse again is a basic mother sauce like a white sauce. So you can call it tomato concasse or tomato sauce. There are many dishes that you start off at the base sauce as white sauce, bechamel, or concasse. These are really primary things that you need to know. Because most of the dishes in continental food, French food, or Italian food are based on these two sauces. So evenly spread the tomato concasse like you did earlier. This is the second layer which we are going through. We're going to do another layer, third, and the fourth layer we're just going to have the lasagna sheet with just cheese topping because we won't have space for the complete fourth layer. There comes the bechamel, the white sauce, again spread evenly. I'm going to retain a little bit of concasse and a little bit of white sauce, maybe a small bowl for the vegetarian version. As I said, as you all know, my wife is a vegetarian, so I always cater for that together. And also sometimes I do prefer the vegetarian version when I'm tired of having non-veg most of the time. There's the cheese layer after the white sauce layer. So the cheese layer also helps to bind the layers together. The sheets are held to each other by the stickiness or the melted cheese. And now we're going to put the last layer and seal off the casserole. Top layer is placed. 2 sheets which we have boiled separately. And if you can see, I've already started the round sheets for a different kind of method of preparing the vegetarian lasagna. So this we are going to make in a pan and not in the oven. So in the same video you'll be able to see how we prepare. Same way we're going to arrange the pasta for the vegetarian, but we're just going to do it in the pan and not cook in the oven, but just cook in a low flame with the cover on the gas range. It'll get you the same result. Off it goes. The lasagna sheets are all well arranged, one on top of the other, and a little bit of on top, which will get pressed in once it melts, and we put the oven on. We're going to bake it at about 180 to 200 degrees Celsius for about 30-35 minutes. That should do the trick. Or you can have a look if the sides are bubbling and have more or less settled down. The excess liquor is liquid or tomato sauce and white sauce mixture has stop bubbling, you would know that more or less the dried out excess moisture is gone. You want the lasagna to be a little juicy, so a little bit of moisture needs to stay there. It tastes much better that way. Here you have it. Lasagna just got off the oven and cut up, and see all the angles, how the layers are. Just beautiful. It really looks good and tastes awesome. Layers and layers of goodness. And here we have laid round lasagna sheets which we made like chapatis or rotis, Indian flatbread, and we layered them together with sliced vegetables, just saute in garlic, rosemary and onion. Same method, just replace the chicken, and of course we did not add the egg to the pasta sheets. That's the only difference. And we just low cook, and that's it. Covered up and open it up, and you have your veg lasagna ready with the same ingredients, same process. Enjoy, and hope you have learned both the pastas well. And till next time, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click like, share, and don't forget to comment if you have any suggestions. Bye.